it. So we wish him luck getting all of that ready. So that's bullish news that he's not here to a certain extent. But yes, if you guys do not know Oscar Matt yet, this is Oscar Matt. He used to make a lot of content for Illuvium. He will be returning at some point, I'm sure. And he's made some really good stuff. He does really great job with making things extra concise and making sure to explain the information not only well and concise, as I just said, but really quickly. So if like some bit of news comes out, he will get onto it fast. So you always know you can get up-to-date stuff with Oscar Matt. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Thanks for the intro. And that's exactly what I've tried to do with my content, trying to make it accessible for everything. I'll read something that's really big and in depth and can really shorten that down for anyone that has known Illuvium or anyone that has not known Illuvium can come in and read it and understand it as quick as possible. But yes, I'm very keen to get back into it. I've been doing some other content on other games and just been trying to fine tune my craft and ready to get back into Illuvium and get back into this testing phase.
Yeah, one thing at a time. I'm very excited to be playing the private beta. Oh my God, I can't wait. It's really funny. I'm seeing these like Twitter posts where people are posting like a countdown clock for the Bitcoin halving. I'm like, that's the wrong countdown clock, guys. You're missing the point here.
ILV countdown. Someone needs to make one of those and it needs to be put into the Illuvium Discord.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do something like that, but if it was easy enough, I probably would do it. Maybe I'll speak to Sky. All right, so let's jump into the first topic today. I don't want to make this one too long. I've got quite a few videos I want to make today, and a bit's been happening. Most of it actually quite interesting. I didn't think there would be that much stuff today, but there's actually a decent amount, but we're not going to take too long on this. So the first thing is Johnny is saying that me and Matt were talking about this behind the scenes. Basically, Kieran's updated proposal says that the Illuvium fuel will be held. Obviously, this hasn't been passed yet, just to keep in mind. The Illuvium fuel will be held back until Illuvium Zero launches. And then after that date, 10% will be paid on top of any fuel sales. But the issue with this is that, well, it would take 10 months to pay back all of the fuel reserve. We'll talk about this a little bit in today's episode, but not for too long. But in here, 2.5% is a really long payback time. You're obviously talking like 3 years there.
Yeah, that's
10% is maybe okay, but it's probably better to just use a period such as 6 months. I still think 6 months is too long, but it's definitely a lot better than 10 months. And using some kind of complicated model like a J to present a single result is as likely to be wrong as the linear model because we have no detail on what the relationship of the J parameters with regards to the delay. Now, it's really hard because to try and simplify this, there are so many variables here. How long is it going to be delayed for? Is the revenue going to increase after that first month, or is it going to decrease after that first month? Because all of that impacts this sort of stuff. How long do you think is too long, Matt?
I think 6 months is probably the longest that you want to go to because that will pretty much take us to the end of the year, or no, it'll be past the end of the year, won't it? Because of how long we delayed. But yeah, I think less than 6 months because you're just it's too far away. Like people want to play it more. It's going to be so heavily front-ended like most games, and then kind of hopefully it doesn't peter off too much, but most games have a big spike and then kind of go along. But I think you just need to give people more incentive to get in and go as fast as possible so this fuel and ILZ keeps going and turning over, and then we're actually doing the game as it's supposed to be. Obviously, the delay pushes that back as well, and it's a bit of a weird situation. I always thought ILZ would have been first rather than after, so the fuel system is going, but here we are. We're going the opposite way to what I thought was going to happen.
Well, it's only because ILVZ has been delayed. The intent was to have it out first.
Yeah.
Where I keep coming back to with this entire discussion is if it wasn't delayed, then they would have gotten this fuel straight away. So them getting completely disadvantaged from the delay seems a bit backwards to me. Now, it needs to be over a period of time to maintain the skill-based type thing involved in this. But at the same time, it can't be a long period because they would have gotten this instantly. And now you're drawing it out 6 months. It doesn't make much sense. It's like when they did the Illuvium Beyond rewards backlog, they tripled it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Very short period of time. Makes a lot of sense. Get it over and done with. So it would feel a bit rough. How's it going, Belks and Surf?
Hey, Belks and Surf as well. When they talk about a J curve, are they saying about putting it higher at first and lowering it off as we go, or the opposite way around, starting it slow and then ramping it up as we get closer to, say, 3 or 4 months just to really drain it?
I think you're right. Start off slow and then just really drain it, sort of a thing. But
Which would,
really, the whole point of that is that it'd be algorithmic in some way to make
yeah,
sure that it ends at a certain point, which is,
yeah,
I think, key. I just still would
I
make it
think so.
shorter than 6 months.
Yeah, as I said, if you're aiming for 3 or 4 months, I think that would be good. And those people that have played a lot and are skilled, and their land plot is like far more progressed than the ones that haven't played. Once those drops are getting higher and higher, they will be getting like immense amounts compared to people that
Mm.
haven't put in the effort. So I do like the J curve because people that are playing all the time are going to get more benefit out of it.
It definitely disadvantages your tier 1 plots a lot
Yeah.
less as well. So that's definitely a good way to go about it. So the other thing is that Johnny has said that landholders always get 5% of revenue. They've been running this home a lot. I think everyone gets it by now, in my personal opinion. But I think it's good to reiterate this point. And he also said that we have to have a mechanism to be able to pay landholders for any missing revenue. And of course, this would be for if some fuel was selling at max cap price for any period of time. So they're building out this mechanism. No matter what, the landholders are going to get that 5%. How it's distributed is another question entirely. So the next thing is actually a really interesting, I don't know if I want to say leak, but a very interesting piece of information here. I think you're going to like this. Fuel is a commodity. It will be moving in large volumes. Also, fuel price is expected to be well under $1. The final value is not decided, but it's more like 1 cent. Okay, now this doesn't determine the cost for something. Like a shard curing cost might be 10,000 fuels. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the actual price of doing things is undetermined. But how do you feel about this? Do you like the fact that it would be like a ton of fuel to do something rather than like 0.1 fuel or 1 fuel?
Yeah, I kind of like whole numbers rather than just doing 0.0001. Like I'd rather it be that 10,000. I know it looks silly. Either way, it looks silly, but whole numbers I think looks better and it's easier for people to understand than going into decimal points. But it does make sense. I'd never even thought about it like that. I would have just thought it was like 3 fuel, but it does make sense to make it so big so then you can, like a weapon's going to cost this much, a shard's going to be this much, to go on a run's going to be this much. The disparity is going to be so massive that you need that massive, like small denomination, I guess.
Yeah, I think something that people seem to forget about this sort of thing is the fuel will not be perfect for a while. I don't know how long. It's going to take at least 6 months for them to nail it down. I would say it's a lot easier to adjust these things with high fuel numbers than it is with small ones. Imagine adjusting 0.1 of a fuel to 0.05. That just gets real weird. But when you're adjusting
100%.
like 500 to 350 or 320, it's a lot easier to process those adjustments and for the consumer to see it as well. So I think this makes a whole lot of sense in general. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Once you go into point numbers, people just don't look at it as a normal number. Whereas if you say going on a run is 10,000 fuel at first, and they go, oh, this is way too much or not enough, you go up to 15,000 or go down to 7,500, people can really grasp, oh, yeah, we've come down a quarter or whatever.
So the next thing here is Johnny has given us a really good breakdown of where everything is at in Illuvium Zero. So we're going to ignore all the done stuff for now. Most of the stuff was already in the alpha. Shops in progress. I'm assuming this is like buying cosmetics or buying speed ups and things like that. But what's interesting here is something I noticed is Android is close to completion. iOS is not done. So they are working on iOS, and we'll see in other leaks that it looks like it might make it onto the App Store for launch. At least the free-to-play will.
That's very surprising. I know that iOS is very hard to get onto.
iOS is very painful, especially the in-app purchase stuff.
Yes.
In-game marketplace, in progress. Power Station, new system. In progress on the client side, but the backend is complete, which is great to see. Plants, new system, in progress client, but the backend is complete. The only backend things to do are the marketplace, shops, mega cities, and land plot transfer. So there's only a few things. I really thought mega cities would be further along than this. So this is very surprising to me. They have said it will be in for open beta, so that is surprising, but I guess that might be where all the delays are stemming from.
I was surprised that they would try to get it in for open beta. I know that it's a big part of what people did during the the sale, but I always thought that it was going to be something down the track. But if I wouldn't hold Isle Z up just because of mega cities, but I don't know.
We can also see what things aren't going to make it into the game. The two optional things are actually the tutorial and the view other players' lands are both optional. Also, blockchain and land NFT connection are all complete. So blockchain's all done. Most features are all done. Even paths, which got an update, or I think got an update, seem to be done. So that's quite good as well. So really, we're just waiting on power plants and efficiency and that sort of stuff, and some other minor things. So it should be interesting. Zim, I actually just watched through the entire town hall again. Oh my god, I've watched it so many times now. And no, they didn't really mention the tier 5 lands, unfortunately. I've got let's say a breakdown video coming at some point. I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Wednesday, but we'll see. All right. The next one we've got is people have been, I think, a bit upset, or at least I've been very upset, that the Ascendant mode hasn't gotten any updates. Okay, like it got the big Ascendant upgrade, but it hasn't had any balance changes. If I have to go up against another Revenant, I'm going to seriously do something horrible.
This is why I don't play it that much. Of just like it's just too much brain power, and then you hop in and just get slaughtered. I'm like,
I've been enjoying it a lot more, but those Revenants are killing me. Their shield is so frustrating. I'm sure there's a way to beat them, but I cannot be bothered figuring that out. But Ben says that he hears us, and right now the team is split between PB4 and getting a proof of concept for Gauntlet spun up. So Ascendant's on slow mode right now. Gauntlet being the new 8-player game mode. Honestly, I don't mind this. I'm more excited about the 8-player game mode than I am for any balance changes of Ascendant. So if they're focusing on that, then that sounds good to me. And obviously PB4 is quite important. Are you excited for the 8-player mode?
Yeah, 100%. I think I talked about this with Van Umbra when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and I just don't have the time to spend hours on end trying to build the perfect team to go into Ascendant, whereas a lot more of a casual game where I can come and play and just have a chance, that's definitely down my alley. A game that I can pick up, put down, and do whatever. With kids in it, I can't sit in front of the computer for hours on end and just really nut it out. So yeah, I definitely am more keen for that than what we've got with Arena. But Arena's never been my top dog of the 3 or 4 games that we've got. So yeah, it will be good to have a casual one.
Yeah, and then it would play particularly well on mobile as well, which I think is the big advantage of Arena in general. So the next thing from Ben here is that how will people be selected for access into PB4? I know everyone's excited to find out all this sort of information. There was a little bit of that talked about in the town hall, but this is actually the best hint we're going to get at this sort of information. Different teams will be picking different people for different criteria in order to give them access into PB4. So if you've been active in different areas of Illuvium, you won't have to be active in every area all at once. They're going to be picking people based on their area of expertise, and there's probably going to be some holistic stuff as well. So Ben himself selected a number of community members that have played significantly, contributed via feedback and bug reports as to those that are most valuable for my team. Other teams will undoubtedly have different metrics. Marketing will mostly care about onboarding new people. We can see that with all of the spot giveaways on Twitter. And the community team will likely select people that have been positive for the community. I would assume chatty in the Discord, lots of feedback, governance, that sort of stuff. So that's really cool to see, is that these people are being handpicked. This isn't some crazy, they're just going to tick off a bunch of boxes in an algorithm. People are being handpicked, which I like.
It wasn't like the first drop of beta access, whenever that was for the Arena or whatever it was. That was literally just kind of random, and you were getting people that they play for 10 minutes and then not play it again. I really like this, that they're actually going through and go, oh, this person's given us value, so we're going to give them the chance to go out and play it early.
Yeah, I love to see it. I really would have liked to be able to pick some people myself. I know some people I get asked a lot if I can select them and stuff, and I just have to say, I don't get anything. I'm sorry. I wish, even with my giveaway, I don't get any special thing I can do. But at the same time, I think fair is fair. Keeping things as fairly widespread as possible is good too.
Are they going to add more over the time of it being in the testnet PV4, or is whoever gets it on that first day that's who gets it until they open it up a little bit more? Or is it going to be, we're running really well, let's add another 100, 200 people, whatever?
Well, the max is 10,000. That's what they're
Yep.
going up to. I would say that picking 10,000 over the course of a week is difficult. And so I suspect they'll hit the 7-8K mark at most during that time, and then they'll continuously handpick people that are really keen and stuff like that,
Yep.
which is kind of what they've done in the past a little bit. So that's what I expect. But yeah, we'll have to see.
There you go. We'll bring new people in for phase 2 from TSG, the man.
That's the one. TSG said it himself. All right. So the next thing we've got up here is for Zero, I'd prefer tying to more your own team of alluvial identities. And here he's talking about potential scenarios for PvP game modes in Illuvium Zero. And his idea here is actually very similar to what Nijave had in mind, if not almost identical in the way they would structure PvP. And I actually think it's an excellent idea. But basically, players can choose to raid by sending a team of alluvials out with fuel, at which point a random stockpile will be selected to attack. So like a second base, I would assume. We could then simulate a battle and the winner would receive fuel. For the attacker, a portion of the stockpile that, depending on how much fuel you had risked on your raid, or for the defender, the fuel they attacked with. So that's quite an interesting way to do it as well, where if you stuff up your attack, you're actually giving away fuel, which would be really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
But the idea is that it'd be basically an alluvials auto battle on Illuvium Zero on mobile. You probably have some sort of defenses and stuff as well. I really like this idea because you need a deck of alluvials to do it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I don't mind this as well. I like that you can opt into it and not you literally you're risking losing fuel. You need to have that risk versus reward. You can't just go out there and just if you lose, you lose nothing. No risk. You need to have a risk so people actually think about it and go, nah, I don't want to attack him because maybe he'll attack me back and steal everything after as well. And then you got nothing.
TSG's just telling us in the chat, we actually have way more than 10K registrations. Influencers alone have brought in more than 10K registrations. I know that tons of people probably registered through the YouTube thing that dropped, which we will cover today, and the YouTube and the tweet that dropped from Illuvium as well, which would not count as an influencer. Okay.
Illuvium's their own influencer.
Yeah. So the next thing from Ben is we're actually looking into something like this for Overworld, where you could essentially do an Overworld run from the phone without actually entering the Overworld. Yeah. We're looking at Overworld for this experience, allowing us to have a tool for daily retention in the Overworld, where Zero is already strong, and tying better into progression systems within Overworld. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be a standalone thing, but it sounds like if you're an Overworld player already, you might have something on your phone where you can tick a few boxes each day to continue your progression without actually jumping onto the computer, which would be interesting. I'm eager to see how they implement this sort of stuff. I think it's a slippery slope, but hopefully they do a good job.
Yeah, most phone games and stuff that you play, they have the daily missions and whatever. You don't want to overcomplicate it. You obviously don't want to go down that line either. It's not a phone game as such, but something that you can just quickly go and do if you've got no access to a computer a day. I think that's nice. Plus for people that don't have computers to do something in the Overworld.
For sure. Okay. The next one we've got is regarding that fuel IIP we were talking about just before. Perry thinks we should adjust it to the following, with 9 months also being a variable that can be decided by the community. Sounds like 10 months is too long from what I'm hearing, obviously. If Zero is delayed, we will target 9 months to deplete bonus pool. I still think that's way too long. But over the course of that, the min would be 5% and the max would be 50%, as we talked in algorithmic structure.
Yeah.
They also did simple calculations, and it came out to 2 months delay equals a 10-month distribution of the pool. But there are so many variables. Again, you cannot calculate any of that stuff. Firstly, as Johnny said, okay, this is very important because I know there's some hot debate about this. Well, let me move my chair. Okay. That IIP with the holding back fuel and all the rest of it was supposed to solve one issue, not compensation. With that said, we do agree that Landholder should get an additional % of the airdrop up to the value of Illuvium Beyond rewards as one piece of the compensation. It seems like that's likely going to be going ahead and might even be separate from the loyalty airdrop we're going to discuss later in this video. Do we agree that the idea of not selling any additional land or airdropping the remaining lands to existing holders will require an IIP and therefore shouldn't muddle the conversation? So I'm trying to process this though. Illuvium Beyond rewards have been around since basically the start of Illuvium Beyond. Am I right?
Pretty much. Maybe a little bit after, wasn't it? It wasn't straight away, I don't think.
Let's say it was 1 month after. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Beyond launched in March of last year, meaning that we've had, let's say, 45 weeks of rewards, give or take, up until this point. 45 times 100 would be 4,500 ILV. Divided by 20,000 plots would be 0.2 ILV on average per plot. If you assume that a tier 3 plot gets 9 times, then it would be about 2 ILV per tier 3 plot. And then you're talking like 27 times, so like 18 ILV per tier 4 plot, sort of a thing. So that's kind of like, no, that doesn't sound right. But that's kind of how the distribution will be working, about 0.2 ILV on average.
Yeah, and then scale it up for what type of land you have. I don't know. We've been holding on for land for so long. Like, when was the sale? A year and a half, 2 years ago? I can't even remember. It feels so long ago. But I
think the land sale was 2 years, but I'm not sure.
Wow, 2 years! I can't believe I've been around Illuvium that long. It's surreal that we've been here for this long. But still as keen as all hell to get into it. But yeah, a little bit of compensation would be nice. I don't think it needs to be huge. I know that people should have been getting all these rewards and making our money back and so on and so forth. But we're in a very speculative area, and buying land itself is a risk. Like, you know, you gotta wear the risk every now and again to get that reward eventually. So.
Yeah, there's so much going on. I just want to play the game, man. I want to shoot alluvials in the overworld. It's kind of shocking that we've known about this for so long and I still haven't been able to do it. Is almost cruel. You know what I mean? And now we know that morphopods and plants are going to attack you in the overworld as well, and it's unfair. It's cruel. It's cruel. Like, TSG is probably not here because he's playing in the Illuvium overworld right now. For all we know, that is what's happening right now. Yeah. Obviously, I'm kidding. I'm sure he's very busy. But
he's listening to us while he's shooting alluvials. That's exactly what he's doing. That's how he's typing in a chat. So
all of a sudden he slips and he types in like "just caught a ramfire." That would be pretty funny. Okay. So speaking of the loyalty airdrop, this one was a hot question that I'm glad got answered. People were asking if holding ILV is going to be enough to earn the airdrop. And it looks like it is only for staked ILV. Obviously, this counts for previous history as well. So if you were staked in the past, then it will also count to earning some of this loyalty airdrop. We know this loyalty airdrop is also going to go live before the major play to airdrop component of all of this as well, which I personally think is a mistake, but it is what it is. So I've had my ILV staked pretty much the entire 3 years that I've had it staked. So I'm hoping that I'm going to do pretty well. I've held land and haven't sold. I've had staked ILV, haven't sold. I've pretty much sold no Illuvium Beyond Illuvatars. I know trading on the Illuvidex has its own benefits as well. There's a lot going into this.
Yeah, I've been staked since staking V2 started. That was when I first staked because I was around. I come in just after the hack happened or whatever. I got two bits of land, heaps of Illuvium Beyond. So yeah. I'd never taken any ILV out, so I'd be pretty happy with anything, really.
Should be really interesting. I think it's going to be a big moment. Everyone's going to be like, oh, thank you, Illuvium. We knew we could trust you and all that sort of stuff. Would be awesome. I had a feeling TSG would show up after that comment. Welcome to the show, TSG.
Hey,
what's up? What's good, guys? What's happening? Yeah. thought I'd take a couple minutes and join you guys. I'm sure you guys are going to wrap up relatively soon anyway. But what's going on?
We're not too far off. Not much. We're going through all the things. This is a really hot topic as well. If you haven't registered yet, firstly, use my link. It's in the description down below. Secondly, try and use the same email address. I believe if you use Google login, it's fine. The same email address as your existing Illuvium account so that they know you've been playing Illuvium. If you've been playing a lot, then it will help you get access into the beta. Do that, please. Kieran also says that if you didn't do this previously, just create another account. He doesn't want people missing out on getting into the private beta who have been active participants in Illuvium.
Absolutely.
So, TSG World, we've got you here.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there anything that you guys have spoken about that I can add value to?
I want some juicy alpha. All right.
I'll try.
Because
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
I went and rewatched the town hall, and there was discussion about morphopods attacking you, plants attacking you. We haven't seen either of those things leaked, which is quite crazy to me. I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet. Are those both in the private beta?
Look, it's funny. We just had a play test for the last couple of hours with the Overworld, and I think we're gonna have another one in the next couple of hours.
That's exactly what he said he was doing.
What's that?
It's exactly what we said you were doing. You were playing the game instead of coming on here.
Yeah, I mean, we were play testing. It wasn't just playing. There's a bunch of us testing. But yeah, in terms of the alluvial, in terms of the morphopod combat, look, I've tried a version of it. Whether that's coming out in private beta for phase 1 or next phase, which is a month later, I can't confirm, but I believe that I would say set your expectations for phase 2. And if I'm wrong and it is in phase 1, I mean, you'll be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I would say there is some kind of interaction guaranteed with morphopods, that's for sure. Whether that's combat, actually, no, wait, yes, it is combat. Yeah, it should be in phase 1. I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, yeah, it should be in phase 1. So yeah.
And plant combat?
Plant combat will absolutely take a little bit later. I think that's again. I think I can say this because I believe Kieran has said this, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything. Kieran has hinted at alluvial combat previously.
Yes.
And so plant combat is somewhat intertwined with the mechanics of alluvial combat. So that is something that will come a little bit later.
I did not know that.
Lovely.
And a really good question from Boyo here. Will there be a leaked playtest before the 30th? I know that in past playtests, we've had people like Rich and yourself playing the game in the Discord and people can watch the play. I would love to see something like that.
Wait and see. I guess, I mean, there's 12 days left, right? There's not that much time left. So if you guys think that all the marketing initiatives have been complete with just one day of open registrations, we still have 12 days left. So do with that information what you will. I'll let you guys run wild with that.
Sounds good to me. Is there any questions you've got for him, Matt?
Nah, just show us the game. Like, it's not really
yeah. I'm very excited
now. You know.
No, I'm actually very excited with the state of it. I know there's going to be a major update next week as well, and the game that we have next week and the stuff that we're playtesting next week is going to be what goes out to the public. So very excited to get to that point. Even what we played today is much better than what we've seen already. One of my favorite new mechanics is the weapon abilities. I mean, we've seen the drone abilities already, but the weapons, you have weapon abilities as well based on the class. So, and I believe that's being leaked and hinted at as well. So that absolutely, yes. I'll say what my favorite is, and then you guys can try it out and try the different ones when you actually play it. But the fighter ability is absolutely my favorite. I won't tell you guys what it does. Should I tell you guys what? I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Why would we say no?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I'm not saying no.
Okay, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with giving one leak. I'm sure I can ask forgiveness if I get called out for it. But yeah, so the fighter ability, the same way that you see the drone ability, I can say this because you saw it in the video. It teleports to the alluvial and starts firing at the alluvial.
Yeah.
That's one drone ability. PB4 hype video that just came out. You saw another one where it puts the Illuvial in a box.
Yeah,
that's another drone ability. And so one of the weapon abilities, the fighter ability, turns your gun into shooting homing missiles or homing bullets.
Mhm.
So it does increased damage and home. So in terms of Illuvial hunting, it makes it that much easier because you can just start clicking away, and you know as long as you're getting in the right direction, you're going to be hitting it. So I'm not an FPS shooter, so it makes my life much easier, which is why that is my favorite.
I guess my question off the back of that is just how many different abilities, equipment, ways to play are there actually going to be? Are we talking there's like 30, 40 abilities, or there's only a handful, or there's lots of different weapons?
Well, in terms of the weapon abilities, we're going to go by class.
Yeah.
So with the drone abilities, you've got the
5.
So weapon abilities 5 for the time being.
Yeah.
Drone abilities, how many drones do we know of?
4.
4. So so let's say there's 4,
20.
4 drone abilities plus 5. So there's
five
different
per drone.
combinations. Exactly. 5 weapons. So you can have any weapon ability with the drone. They're not linked. The drone abilities are linked to the drone, and the weapon that you equip gives you the weapon ability.
Yeah.
So,
the drone won't have a class ability like the weapon. They'll just have different abilities that drone has. It could have 4,
correct,
it could have 5. Down the line, you could add another 5 to each drone. They're like never ending.
That is
what you want.
Yeah. So the opportunities, absolutely. Maybe even adding more drones potentially could be a thing. But yes, so there's that. In terms, there are those are the things that I think can be made public. There are a couple of other things that we haven't revealed yet, which will add to the style of gameplay that you're looking for. And I know that we had a chat with. We were having a chat today in the playtest with Andre, and he was suggesting some ideas that could again give the player a bit more control in the style of game that they want to play. So, and that was received well by the team. So I think that will be implemented at some point as well. So the goal is to give the player as much agency as possible in the way that they want to play. Kind of like, I'm trying to be very careful with what I say here, but kind of like if you're playing Call of Duty, you're gonna have some players that like to choose a sniper rifle. You can have some players that like to choose a shotgun, right? Like a shotgun's a thing in Call of Duty.
Yeah. So you want to play hard and fast, or you want to be a little bit more reserved.
Exactly. So I think the end goal
that's great.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it, because you could have 5 different streamers all playing, and they were playing totally different ways. Someone comes in, they want to do it this way. It's just more variables, more ways to play.
It's just more agency for the player, absolutely. Like someone like I think Skyrox. I don't know. I'm going to make the assumption and assume Skyrox is good at FPS games. I don't know.
I'm okay.
I'm horror. I'm not even okay. I'm absolutely horror at FPS games. So if I see him do something on a stream, I'm not going to copy that because I'm not even going to be able to pull that off.
No. So but you'd like to watch it because you're like, that's something I can't do. Let's have a look at how he's playing.
Exactly. So giving, like I say, I think that the biggest thing is player agency. So that is something that we're going to keep working towards as we continue development.
Yeah, where my mind goes is to future multiplayer systems and co-op and that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you want to go into like a co-op raid of some kind. We're all trying to hunt down the one Titanor, but you don't want everyone with the same weapon. You want someone who's more supportive and like slowing down the Titanor, someone who's a bit more aggressive, doing the damage, that sort of stuff. So I like to think of it that way.
It's more like WoW when you go on a raid. You've got to have a healer, you've got to have a range, you've got to have someone close. And I know, like, we're obviously starting with a gun. I know Kieran has said that there might be swords and stuff like that. That's not going to be anywhere close to release, or is that what you're saying?
That will be alluvial combat. That's what's going to be
way down the line.
I wouldn't even say way down the line.
But,
I think Kieran is I'm going to be very careful with what I say. Has Kieran given a timeline on alluvial combat?
No.
Any? Okay. So. I actually thought he did, but I'll because you guys both said no.
Should have said yes.
Yeah, you should have said yes.
No,
wouldn't have taken much. I actually do think he did, but anyway, it's much closer than we think.
Okay, cool. And then that'll obviously have classes the same, like all your weapons that you could get. It's same. That's awesome. I love that. Again, more customization to play the way that you'd like to play. I just love that.
I'm very excited, man. When Alluvial Combat really does hit the ground, I think that's going to be, because we did try like a very first basic iteration of it to make sure this is the direction that we wanted to go. And I'm telling you, it was janky, but the feeling I got from it, even it being janky, was, I would say, close to the fun of Palworld, or close to. And I don't know why I'm saying close to, because it was janky. Maybe like there were times that it was more fun, there were times it was less fun, but like overall, the idea of going out, seeing these Illuvials, having them like a group of them attack you, and like it feels really, really fun, and you're reacting, and you
got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
you've got to start somewhere, and that's
very, very excited for when that does touch down, and I won't say more than that right now.
Awesome.
So
I love that.
As we jump into talking about the airdrop, drop 1 will be the loyalty airdrop, and this is done on your L1 wallets, unrelated to Passport, so registering and stuff won't impact this loyalty airdrop, and the snapshot's already been taken, so there's nothing you can do now. Drop 2 playtest, 20,000 for the testnet, and then drop 3 open beta drop 180,000 ILV. This is done to the Passport wallet, which is good because there's relatively safe, the Passport wallet. Obviously, if someone hacks your username and all the rest of it, then you're in a bit of trouble. But besides that, you should be okay. And here is the registration stuff for Illuvium. I am going to see if I can remember the link. /Scariox. That's hopefully right. Go register there if you have not registered yet. 1 of 20 people are going to get access to the game. Oh, Jesus.
You say 1 of 20?
No.
Sorry, 20 people are going to get selected.
That's not. You can use mine, and one lucky person from my link will get access to the game. I doubt there's many people that have registered through that link. So if you use it, might be that one.
Does make sense. Probability states that you should go with Oscar Matt's link.
That's not true.
It is. If he has 100 people that go into the link and 20 get it, you got a 1 in 5 chance. If only 1 or 2 people do my link, you got a 1 in 2 chance, or maybe a 1 of 1.
Yeah, it's definitely more than 1 of 1. Yeah,
Matt just like only gave his link to like his best mate.
Actually, I'm very curious. While I've got you guys here, can you guys let me know what? Oh, Jesus, Scarix, you wanna?
Okay.
Figure it out. What I think, I mean, Scariox, you again, I got to be very careful with what I say here, but Scariox, you were saying that we're hoping we could get about 7,000 registrations. That's what you. So my understanding was that you were expecting around 7,000 to 8,000 registrations. Is that correct?
No. What?
No, he was saying 7,000 to 8,000 people in game in the first week.
Oh,
no.
Right. Yeah. So what were you trying to say? Clarify what you were trying to say.
I don't remember when you're thinking of me saying that.
Just like
Before
5 minutes ago, when I commented saying that we have well over 10,000 people.
I don't remember saying 7,000 or 8,000 or anything.
I swear he did. That's why I came
100%.
Someone's gonna have to clip that because I got no idea what you guys are talking about. Okay. I expect 30K to be playing day 1 is what I'm hoping for. Open beta.
No, in the testnet.
Oh, you're talking about the testnet access.
Yeah, bro.
No, I mean 8,000.
Who's running the show?
I mean 7,000 or 8,000 being selected initially, and then probably more people being selected later. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you think 8,000 people are going to be selected, and how many registrations were you expecting for this? Like in the first 2 weeks, from now till the 30th.
I don't know. Honestly, maybe 20,000 tops.
Okay.
But yeah, honestly, I'd be surprised if there's more than 15,000. But I don't know. I'd be happily surprised though. I don't know because it's not like
more than that.
Did you guys email out to everyone on the email list?
Yes, we emailed. Yeah, obviously we emailed out, but we have influencers. We haven't activated partners yet. There are a couple of things in the back end, but we're still yet to activate partners. Plus, I'm going back and doing another run with the influencers. But yeah, regardless, it's been 18 hours, 19 hours since we went live.
It's
Okay.
longer than that, isn't it?
Oh, hand picking. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you reckon about 15. Matt, you say way more. But what is way more? 1 million? Like, what is way
No,
more?
it's not 1 million. Like, seriously, how big's your email list? Like, it would just be absolutely enormous over the past time, and more people are going to be doing this one. I'd say probably if you got to 30,000 or above, I don't know. I might be going too high, but that would be sick.
Wow,
But
okay. Very interesting.
I don't know. It's hard. I haven't been around
Yeah,
everything.
of course.
But
Yeah,
like,
look.
you've got 300,000 just on X as followers, don't you? It's like, or something like that. So
Yeah. I mean, well, let us know in chat as well. I'm very curious because even within the marketing team ourselves, there was a bit of a delta between what we were all expecting. Me actually being 80,000, Sam says. Myself actually being on the high end in the marketing team, myself and Kieran. But yeah, very interesting. Now, what I can't say exactly what it is exactly because we will be making an announcement and we will be publicizing it at a point. It is only 18 hours since launch, but I will say this, that through influencers alone have generated close to, not even close, over I'll say close to 15,000. Just
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not Illuvium, that's not anything else, that's not partners, it's just the influencers alone. And like I said, I need to double down on the influencers and go back and a lot of the larger influencers are actually up in Dubai trying to swing right now. So they haven't even done a big push for it.
I'm surprised that like that register video only has 2.8 thousand views. I would have thought it'd be a bit more than that.
The thumbnail wasn't. I don't know if they've changed the thumbnail yet.
I don't think it's that. Like the hype was there. I don't know how many it's got on X as well because it's posted there. So I haven't looked into it too deeply. But yeah, if you got close to 15 just from influencers, I'm sure that the ILV, like the Illuvium one, I doubt it probably has as many as the influencers, but it'd still be pretty high. So if you'd probably getting close to 25, 30,000 now. That's pretty good after 2 days.
1.5 days. Yes.
Oh, yeah. 1.5
days. Yeah, no, I'm very, very happy with the initial best of it and looking forward to really pushing it and making it stretch out for the rest of the. We've got a couple of things in the bag and in our back pockets that we're going to pull out. So should be very interesting. I think that we're going to hit my target. Unfortunately, I can't say what my target is publicly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that me being the optimistic one on the team, I still think that we're going to hit the target that I have in mind.
Karen's target's like 500K.
Yeah.
Watch.
I'm not going to lie. That is the higher end. I'm like, yo, 500 is what we need.
500K. Jesus Christ. Okay. So the next thing we've got is the Illuvium Airdrop season, a token of our appreciation. They're thrilled to include a 50,000 ILV dedicated to our loyal holders and a gigantic 200,000 ILV set aside for our 6-month Play to Airdrop initiative. The total value is approximately $25 million. I hadn't given it much thought before this article came out, but I actually really like that they're doing a big loyalty holder airdrop. Obviously, I'm heavily biased in saying that, but I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be really interesting. Not only that, but it'll help stimulate the economy as well. What people love doing when they get free money is they love spending it. Like you think some people would assume, obviously there's going to be a lot of selling into it, but not necessarily to bring it into their bank. They might roll it into other coins and things like that, but they're going to spend it somewhere. And if that's in the game, then great. So yeah. Okay. Here, a town hall happened the other day with Aaron and Kieran taking charge on this one. A really big town hall. There was a lot of alpha, a lot of really interesting information shared. It was a really great watch. It goes for 2 hours. There is a lot of information to disseminate. I'm making a video about it, but it was a really great town hall. Recommend you check it out. I'll drop the link in chat. Okay, and next up we have the video. if nothing else, I really love the health bars. See the health bar of Rotor up here? I love it. I think that's. Thank God they added that in.
They actually go up, by the way. They don't deplete. They go up. You're
That's fine.
overcharging them.
Yeah, it's the amount that you've charged it up to stop them. I like that.
Yeah.
Looks sick.
The thing is, I really love this shot with with Rotor in the distance. I love a lot of these shots, the deck and everything. I mean, we've seen a lot of Arena already, so I wasn't.
Yo, Llama's leveled up, man. I'm not gonna lie. Credit where credit's due. Llama has leveled up.
This is really awesome. This little 1 minute video. It would have taken him ages.
It actually, it actually didn't. Like he moves very quickly. Like all of the videos that you've seen, like he's pumping these out. I wouldn't say he takes a long time. Like he probably puts in a lot of hours, but he's just so efficient. It's mad. So massive credit. Go into the positive vibes chat, tag Llama, and like look back at all the last videos. It's all mad credit.
Does he do that full time now? Just work you guys? Yep.
Yeah. He's full time with Illuvium now, doing video editing. So he's
awesome.
Pumping this stuff out. Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
So I really love this this bit of the video as well, where we can see that the UI for buying and selling fuel, where one Krypton is going to 0.00. They're going for 2 cents, which is really crazy to see visually. You can see your balance and everything. It looks very simple, looks very straightforward. We go look at this. You can select which fuel you want to buy and see the different prices for each of them, which is really cool as well. You can see your order is complete. You got the Hyperion. And you can see that you've received a bonus to 282 Solon. So all the different UIs are in place and set up for the fuel exchange in the game. I also really love this. I love the little box dude. I just love him so much. I really like the other one, the circular one with the one eye.
Yeah, the box is the I think it's Chopin, is the drone that I've chosen in my playtest.
He's so
cute.
I like the more attacking, like angry looking one.
So there's one of each here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The I forget what it was. Yeah, I forget what. I think it's Dark. The one that you're talking about. It's called Dark. That one's.
I thought Chopin was that one, but
man, I might be wrong.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I love all their names as well. I'm sure that every time you go into a run, you'll have a reason to pick a different one, or depending how you want to play.
And here is a pretty crazy leak. Illuvium Zero will be free to play and accessible on mobile through the iOS and Android store. So it looks like they've got access onto the App Store. Whether or not landowners will be able to play their land on the App Store is anyone's guess. But the free-to-play land will be on there, which is great to see. And I wanted to show this video from the Buffessa because it explains the airdrop really well, really simply.
So good, man. Like, just play the video. It's so good.
All right. Crap.
It shows how easy it is to actually do this.
Yeah.
And I have done it. It is this easy.
Yeah.
My friends, registration for Illuvium's $25 million airdrop campaign is live, and it's very easy. Click the link in the tweet, connect your IMX passport. You can easily create one using your Google account. Connect your passport to Illuvium by clicking yes, and then they'll even give you a fun little puzzle to solve. Name your ranger, and bam, now you have a chance to earn from playing their private beta starting on the 30th of April. Have fun. My friends, registration...
That mask thing is going to be so uncomfortable.
It looks
he wears
ridiculous.
it all the time.
It looks ridiculous.
Have you watched much of his other content? He's funny. He does some silly shit, but yeah, he's good.
That's going to be so uncomfortable.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. But no, the video itself was incredible, Dave. Like, I love that he was able to just show it so quickly. So it's that easy.
28 seconds. Done.
Yeah, it's that easy for sure.
And it really, really was that easy. So anything else you guys want to leave us off on before we wrap up this stream?
You got to watch Jimbo's video, don't you?
I was avoiding it on purpose.
My God.
Right.
No, I'm really excited for when the game comes out and like Jimbo really starts to put in effort with the content.
I didn't know if it was appropriate for this stream, but okay.
It is what it is. Does he do anything bad in it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's not bad. All right.
Turn the volume down.
but two weeks before that hands. When you women throw it away, they're holding my underwear, who cares? Turn on the bulls, fire the bears, making live with ILB. Boy Johnson, his walls can't fit. And this is PvP, and you're my exit liquidity. Jim Marino is the face. Smiles is a down to straight. Action is the racing. The course man, we're gonna make it. And it's not ILB. Kieran is my savior, Illuvium is taking over. Kieran is my savior, Illuvium, we're all gonna be rich.
Remember when you asked if it was appropriate?
Yeah.
The Kieran part.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's it's so good.
I need to ask him what style he asked the AI music for, because I've been trying to find like a good rap thing for ages.
Yeah. Yo, put if
That
you want
would have
some cool
been-
rap stuff. Okay.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, if you want to do some rap stuff, go West Coast, like West Coast hip hop, and it's like a very like chill, like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like kind of laid back California kind of vibes. So West Coast hip hop is the way you want to go.
That's more like what he had, was like a rap core, like a hardcore rap music.
Yeah.
Fucking weird, but love it.
I
It
love
works
it.
so well. It was just in your
Yeah.
face. It was just
Definitely
Jimbo
not
to
what
the
I would
T.
listen to. Definitely not
No.
what I listen to in my free time.
Absolutely
But
bonkers.
It catches your ears, it catches your eyes, and people were watching.
Yeah, 100%. Killer. I mean, yo, does chat have any other questions? Otherwise,
You know, sometimes I get DMs asking if the snapshot rewards have been revealed for creator
Oh, wow.
rewards.
oh man, yeah. Apologies for that, man. Obviously, it's just me doing it all. Like it's delayed. I will have some good news about the creator rewards. I mean, look, I'll say it here, and then the announcement will come out anyway. But creator rewards going to be extended. So the current system in play is going to be extended until the open
Release.
beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe open beta. Yeah, or no, it should be until private beta 4. Let me confirm. Let me confirm. But I think it should be. No, wait, it's fine. Yeah, it's open beta. So open beta is the plan. So what we have now is going to be extended. Sorry, we had the meeting and the confirmation today, so I kind of just wasn't 100%. But yeah, it's going to be going until the end of Q2, and at that point, like I'm working on a little something that's going to be much more lucrative for creators. That I mean, Matt, I don't know if I've shared some of the stuff that I'm working on with you, Skyrox. Obviously, I have. Very excited.
I always expected it to be like go to a next level once it's released. Like I always knew that this was kind of like that start bit, and then as you go, like if you look at Fortnite started all this stuff, and it's just gone to steps going through it. Creator rewards is like, why wouldn't you reward the people that are getting all the people to come in? Like,
Correct, and it makes complete sense. Like I've told my wife this is a personal thing, but I want to be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, like I got Skyrox to quit his job. I gave him the opportunity where he could quit his job and do this full time. Like I want to be the guy where I could have done that in a way that I supported creators, but in the same way still supporting Illuvium, like making it beneficial for both parties. That's my goal, so I can look at everyone and be like, hey, I did my job. I looked after you guys. I did the right thing by you guys. You guys are all eating well. You can now buy houses. Like you guys are doing well with yourselves. That's my goal. So, yeah, any influencer out there that wants to, or anyone that's thinking about starting to make content, absolutely
Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely start. And the biggest thing that I will say is don't focus on short-term stuff. Focus on building a community. At the end of the day, any long-term creator knows that it's based on community. Based on providing value. If you can continuously provide value, you will grow. I mean, look at Jimbo. Jimbo's not a large creator, but the value that he brings is entertainment. And he does that very, very well. So I guarantee you that even though he's got a small amount of followers, I know for a fact that when the system comes into place that I'm working on, it's going to do him very, very well. So
you'll get the mainstream gamers that come across to play Illuvium. They'll watch him. They don't need to know all this back end shit or anything or what the hell's going on every day. They want to come in and watch someone that's entertaining, that's playing a game, that's having fun. That's
exactly. Yeah, I think he's going to do very, very well. So any creators or anyone considering to be a creator, absolutely start. Don't get too tied up in results. Just provide value consistently. ask yourself not what can I get for myself, it's what can I give. Just constantly give to the audience, and I promise you things. If you look at myself getting a job, if you look at Llama getting a job, providing value. When Llama went out and did those guides, no one had asked him to, no one had, like, he had done it out of his own will. He came out with the best quality guides, and that obviously led to an opportunity arising, right? So yeah, provide value. That is the only thing that you need to do as a creator. And I promise you, short term it might suck. Long term, it's you're gonna look back and be so grateful that is the thought process you had.
I've
And
been
yeah.
Yeah, I've been filling out the questions to the Illuvadata thing because they've been doing like a creator highlight segment. They've asked it to be one of their highlights or whatever, right? But some of the questions on there were really interesting. Things like, what have you gotten out of being a content creator? And one of the big things is, it sounds kind of weird, but discovering yourself is a really big part of it, where the only way to be successful as a creator is to be completely authentic. People see through it instantly. But the best part about that is you can't actually be authentic until you understand yourself really, really well, your own goals, your own motivations, and all the rest of it. And so going through the process of content creation would just make you a better person and would just make you improve on yourself, because that's the only way you're going to be successful as a creator. I think that's been really interesting. So it's just a good way to do self-growth, in my opinion. It's a good creative outlet, and it's obviously not going to be for everyone, but it is beneficial to yourself, even if you don't end up with 1 million views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even for myself, like, I've made it a point now, and I think I've done it very, very well, of reducing my cussing publicly, right? Being a face that represents Illuvium, I can't be out here cussing like crazy. In private, absolutely. But public, no. So again, doing the content, being in front of people, it elevates the level that you need to operate at. Even something that I try to do now is I'm very cautious of, and I do this because there are some videos that I edit where I notice how many times I say ums and ahs, and even now I try to slow down my speech, really understand what I'm trying to say before. So yes, growth through content, you will grow a lot, whether it's through networking, even understanding consumer behavior, what your audience wants to see, how to package something with your titles and thumbnails. There's so much that you can grow with. And I think once you take in those lessons, it will last you and guide you in more ways than one. It can open up more than one door. Whether, again, I think when Llama started doing content, nowhere in his mind did he think that he was going to do content and become a video editor for Illuvium. That was probably the last thing, if he thought of anything. He thought maybe a proper streamer or something, but not a video editor, someone who, like, but he's just put in the work. So, like I said before, credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and it's if you're someone that is a bit creative, it doesn't matter what type of creative, it can feed that creative outlet. That, like, when I was younger, I used to draw, and it didn't do any of that through my 20s because just having fun doing whatever, don't have time for it. Now my creative outlet is coming on here speaking. My public speaking and speaking to just people in general has gone through the roof. Yeah. And it's just all these little things you don't think about, knowing about marketing, looking at stuff and go, well, they're taking the piss. Like, I can see what they're trying to get out of me here. You can see that because that's what you do all the time. You are trying to present something as best as possible, and you can spot that when other people are just lighting a candle under you and gaslighting you. And, as you said, you just build a much more of a personality and know about yourself more than anything. And
it's fun, man. The biggest thing is that it's fun. Well. Like, if you really enjoy it, it's so, like, it's kind of wild that when I had started in the last, I'll say this and then we can wrap it up, obviously. But I'd started, and there were a couple of personalities that I was watching that were big names in the crypto space. And me being a new creator, obviously I didn't have a network. I wasn't in contact with them. There's no way that it could happen. And I mean, just a couple of, like, maybe a week ago, I was put in contact with someone, one of the big guys that I did used to watch back in the day. And I was like, wow, how crazy is this? Like, from starting to do the content, I'm now, and he's talking to me as if, again, I'm out here contacting him, providing value to him. And now we have a, hey, what's going on kind of relationship, because we're both able to provide value to each other. And that's someone that I looked up to back in the day. And I'm like, wow, 2 years later, and this is where we're at. Not even 2 years. That's the crazy thing. It's a year and a half. A year and a half later, it's not that long. So put in the effort, and like I say, if you want to stick with Illuvium, content creation in general is great. If you want to stick with Illuvium, I 100% have a system that's coming up. Scariox knows it. My main intent with this is to look after content creators because I know how important they are. And by looking after content creators, Illuvium is going to do well. The system that I have in place that I'm going to work towards, like I said, I saw a couple of comments below, not in this chat, but previously of, oh, creators love free money. I never said it was free money, but
it's not free money.
It's a system that I know is going to make a lot of people money, which I think is very exciting. Yes, Zilbrad, it is the real TSG. What's up?
It's a lot of work, I tell you. Money or not, it's a lot.
It is
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. People don't realize that a 10-minute video could be hours worth of work.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, a 10-minute video, depending how much you've thought you've put into it before, if you script it or not, recording it could take half an hour to an hour. Editing it is hours, thumbnail, title, distribution. It's the whole package. 10 minutes is not 10 minutes. It's
yeah. Titles, thumbnails, everything. Yeah, it's quite fun.
And then every couple of them flop.
Yeah. It is what it is.
You put so much effort in, and you end up with 100 views, or like 1.1 times the amount that you usually get. And you're like, I put more effort into this. Like,
yeah.
What went wrong?
Do you know what you're not doing? Talk about the airdrop. That's all you need to do.
Right. Token price, all of that stuff has never been my avenue, and it's not for me to talk on. There's too many other good people. It's not my style. But anyway,
let's wrap this up.
All right, let's do it. That was an awesome episode. We got so much information out of this, understood everything a little bit better. Next week will be the final episode before the private beta launches. Maybe there'll be a bunch more announcements and other marketing activations like TSU's hinted at just then. So there will be a lot to talk about. You're not going to want to miss that episode. Obviously, you're definitely not going to want to miss the episode after that either. There is a lot happening.
One thing, sorry, Alex. And you don't know this, but I'm going to tell you now, and I'll explain later. I'll explain offline. But next week's episode is going to be moved to Friday, not Thursday. So, Scariox, you have no option. It's moved to Friday, and I'll tell you why offline.
Also, use my link, not Scariox's one.
Yeah, you guys can fight over it. I'm glad I don't have a link.
Nah, I don't care about the link. Just go and follow my YouTube channel. I'll be posting there a little bit more.
His YouTube is also in the description. Please go follow him. When he's posting more, he's going to have some awesome information. You are going to want it. It's quick. It's easy. It's good stuff. All right. Have a good one, guys.